afternoon, everyone, or evening, wherever you may be. We appreciate you guys coming to join us again with Let's Talk with Casey and Mike. Hope you guys enjoyed last week. Alicia was awesome, and if she's watching this, we can't thank her enough for the awesome discussion that she had. As a matter of fact, I think we're batting 1,000. We had Khalil and Alicia, and both of them were amazing talks, and they gave us a lot of good information, like real information that you can use. And so we're going to continue on with that in the future. And if you guys have any ideas, please let us know, and we'll be more than happy to um, take your suggestions and maybe get someone on here to talk about whatever it is you guys are thinking about. Today, our topic is going to be our kids, our responsibility. Now, we have touched on this in previous discussions, but we're going to kind of dig in as much as we can in on this. And the reason we're talking about this, I'm not big on the news. I don't like looking at the news because it kind of brings me down. But my wife doesn't, and she loves things. And I also listen to people at work when I talk and have discussions. And some of the discussions I've had with some of the people at work, they bring up the fact that something's going on at school, and sometimes the first thing that come out of their mouth is that teacher is this and that teacher is that, and I don't remember those things coming out of my parents' mouth. It was usually, what did you do? What did you say? And for the most part, 99.99% of the right time, they were right, because it was something that I did. There was a certain amount of respect that was had for teachers and school administrators, whether it be the lunchroom lady, whether it be a parent assisting, whether it was whomever. If they were adult, we respected them, and your parents would go to them first about what did the child do instead of what did you do to my child. So that's kind of where we're coming from today. What you got, Mr. Casey?
Yeah, I believe that of course the times have changed.
Yes.
Parents have changed, schools
Yes.
have changed, rules have changed, teachers have changed. I guess the biggest question is, how do we get back, or do we get back? What do we do to change it?
Right.
Public schools have a terrible reputation, though all of them shouldn't fall under those reputations. Teachers cared more. We had teachers that actually cared about the students, not about what grade the school is getting, or not just about how they're viewed by the school board or things like that. I guess you can see this online, but it's so much that the schools can do. It's only so much that teachers can do. Proper education, the baseline for education, starts at home.
Absolutely.
It starts at home. I don't think a lot of parents, to be quite honest, I don't think, and I'm just talking about, public schools and what I've seen. That thankfully, I don't have anybody in school anymore. My youngest one graduated 5 years ago. All of them are adults and living their lives, but you still get an opportunity to see how these schools are being run. And I do see a lot of teachers that really care, but the percentage is very low now. The percentage is very low. Public schools, they still have the separation where some schools get tons of resources, some schools get hardly anything. The necessary, I guess, discipline that's in school doesn't always have to be discipline. I think they take it to a level where it's just a suspension, go home, expel, you're no longer here. Like, that helps no one. If you have a troubled student, a student that's truly troubled, and I get it, I'm not blaming teachers whatsoever, because I think they have the hardest job in America. I truly believe they have the hardest job in America. They're the only people in America that have to deal with hundreds of different personalities, They have to deal with faculty that only wants great grades. They have to deal with parents who are hostile. They have to deal with a schedule. They have to deal with pay that's not adequate for what they do. So
Absolutely.
Kudos to every teacher. Let me first say that. Kudos
Right.
to every teacher, K through 12 and preschool as well. I got grandkids. It's like some of these schools are phenomenal, but the schools cannot be the only place where the children is learning. It has to start home. And if parents don't tune their children into learning, make learning a part of their daily lives, you can't leave a child to kindergarten before they start learning shapes, colors,
Yep.
letters.
Yep.
They have to know more than just the ABC song. Like, be able to identify the letters. Like,
Yep.
it's so much that is left to teachers where you get some students that come in and they're advanced.
Yep.
And I'm not tooting any horns, but my wife had our kids so prepared that teachers were asking us to stop teaching them. I felt like that was a bit off base.
That's never good.
Yeah. But they had things when they started school, and I would go into the classrooms and the things that they were working on, and I knew why she said what she said, because my son and my daughter, they were bored because of what they already knew. Like, they knew so much more because of what was being instilled at home. And a lot of students are like that, but a lot of students, the first time they learn to do anything outside of vain repetition, which are songs, is in kindergarten, unfortunately. First time they learn how to do a puzzle is in kindergarten. The first time they learn how to connect anything to actually know what a shape is, outside of the base 8 colors, they probably, aren't familiar with any of that. So the school systems definitely have to improve. Again, kudos to the teachers, but let's talk about these parents. Let's talk about our responsibility, and that being our kids.
That is exactly. So just to let you guys know, my daughter is she's an assistant principal. They call them deans now. They call them deans and assistant principal. But some of the stories that she tells me are downright frightening. And so let's get with the basics. I'll do the basics before we get into any kind of horror stories. But when you talk about parents and raising them and sending them to school and so on and so forth, this is going to sound shallow, but when you come to the school and you have, a bonnet on your head, or you have something that is just inappropriate, you're going to a place where you want to have people respect you. And I'm not saying that, you have to look a certain way for someone to respect you, but there's a time and there's a place. And so what happens is, because I'm going to get in trouble.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So
this is a problem. When you come to school half dressed, looking like you just got out of the bed, the perception is, if you're doing yourself like that, what are your kids seeing? Because you're not taking the time to do anything to yourself, so you're not going to do anything to help your child. So you're viewed like that in the beginning. Not saying it is fair or whatever, but there's a perception out there, and that perception could be wrong. But you remember back in the day when our in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, when people used to wear a suit and hats everywhere. I mean, ball games, they used to wear, there was a certain sense of pride. There was this dignity, there was this pride, there was this I can't let people see me just anything, because that represents who I am. And so through the years, it just became more and more comfortable. You could do, and don't get me wrong, I love wearing jeans to work. I do because we can. But you know, when I first started working, I had to wear shirts. Even when I worked at Winn-Dixie, I had to wear a shirt and a tie and dress shoes and pants. And I promise you, I'm getting ready to make a point. But what I'm saying is, the more lackadaisical we became, the more lackadaisical it seems to me that we began parenting our kids in this lackadaisical way. It's like they're going to be all right. They can watch the TV. They can get on the computer. They can do whatever. And it's like this laziness. It's just this laziness that people don't want to take the time to inconvenience themselves. I prefer to go and do what I want, and my kid will go in there and they can do whatever they want to. You don't know what your kid is doing on that computer if they're doing their work, because we're not going to check it. We're not going to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. We're not going to help kids. I ain't going to lie to you. When my youngest was in school, it was a battle. When she would come home, I would help her with her homework, and it was just a back and forth. But you have to put in the effort. She didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it, because it would end in sometime. But it had to be done. She understood that I loved her and that I cared. She might not understand it then, but she understand now that we have to put the effort in. Your teachers are there to teach. They're not there to raise your children. So now people want you, when you go to school and you say, what you do in school today? Well, she should have this and she should have that. No. You need to take care of those things in the beginning, so when they go to school, they have the baseline, they're able to sit and pay attention, and they're able to sit and listen. And I have to have a caveat, because there are a lot of people out there who don't have resources. Their kids aren't eating, and it's hard for a kid to concentrate if they don't have food, or if they're thinking about, when I go home, that this is going to happen. So those are circumstances that you know what, as a community, we need to help that too. But I understand that's not what we're on today. So it feels like I'm on a tangent, but it's so many things, and we have to start at home. If you don't,
it's all linked.
It's all linked. It is.
It's all linked, and the times have done a lot to
absolutely
supply with so many distractions. Parents are distracted just as much as kids. True. One of the earlier shows, one of the things that I said that I always believed in was inspect what you expect. We can't take our kids' words for my homework is done, or I don't have any homework. Or,
that's because kids lie.
Yeah. I mean, that's the norm.
Yeah, so that's right.
Parents have to do their due diligence. We have to be involved with the school system. We have to be involved with the meetings. We have to look at the newsletters. We have to meet the teachers, and not just wait when they have something at the school for meet the teacher. Yep. I know my kids used to be, I'm telling you, beginning of the school year, each teacher was getting the email. I was in the inbox. Yep. This is my number. This is my work number. This is my email. This is my full name.
But you know what's sad about that? You know what's sad about that? And it's not sad, it's good and it's bad. Because when the teachers see that you are interested, they see that, okay, so Casey is interested in his children. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I'm on it. They tend to treat your children not differently.
No, it's different. Oh. It's different. No, it's different. When they know parents care, they treat the children different.
That's because true. It's true.
When teachers know, okay, not only is his parent and her parent in tune with them, they know who I am.
That's right. Yeah.
So they're gonna have the added dedication to make sure this child who I've connected with their parent cares about them. They're asking about this, they're asking about that. I need to make sure that they're getting it, not just for the school board, not just for the school's grade in the county, but because this kid has someone that cares about them. And it goes back to last week with fathers. You know, man, we gotta do better. Fathers have got to do better. I ain't giving nobody a pass, but fathers have got to do better. Mothers are overcome with a lot of just children, like Alicia alluded to last week. The mothers, whether you're married and in the house, if you're disconnected and in the house, it's just like you're not there. Because if the kids running around doing, parents, fathers have a different voice. We have a different voice. That's why it's so important to co-parent. If you can't get along, if you've had a child and you're not married, it's so important to still to co-parent properly. Not just you have a dad and you have a mom, but mom and dad on the same page. We expect the same thing, and we're going to check behind you each and every time. Once a child know that you're going to check behind them, most times they're going to complete what you gave them to complete. Because they know he's coming. He's coming to check. And children don't like to be found out. They don't like to. It hurts them to know that they done told you a lie and you go in their bag and find out they were lying. Like, it's like. So if we can just be better as parents, and I'm speaking to men because that's what I am. Fathers, whether we're there, whether we're not there, we can have an impact on our kids' learning. We can't have our kids, a lot of kids in class, distressed and basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Depressed and distressed because they don't have dad there. Because they don't have dad there. A lot of kids are encouraged by dad just being there. By dad just being there. Dad just show up to the school. Just go to, I know a lot of schools don't even let you do that no more, which I don't understand that. I know they got a lot of school shootings and this and that and the other, but when you know that there are parents that care, keep the strangers out. Don't keep the parents out. You know, if the parent is not being a distraction, is not coming in telling you how to manage whatever you're doing, the more volunteers, the more, you know, the more adults that are there for the right reason, the better. You got 30, some schools, 30, 35 students in a class with one teacher and maybe one aide. That's a lot of people. The school should welcome the extra help if they are, you know, in tune to doing that. Bring them in, let them help. But our kids, you know, we got one chance to get this thing right, man. They're only kids one time. They, from birth to 18, like that's a small window of life expectancy. Like, we got one chance to get this thing right, to at least give them the advantages in life where they're engaged and enjoy learning. Where they're engaged and enjoy learning. So we gotta do better, man. Parents,
we have to do better, and we're so concerned as parents with the wrong things. When I was talking about, you don't have to be rich, you don't have to have a lot of money to love and to care for your kid. If your kid know you love them, some of that stuff, well, a lot of that stuff, it doesn't matter. Now, don't get me wrong, you're gonna have people at school who are gonna be bullies, who are gonna pick on whatever and try to wear the best things and okay, that's never, when you get in jobs, that's gonna happen. But you have to show them what's most important. It's our responsibility to show them what's most important. And so what I've grown to learn is that when your kids get home, they do homework or whatever on the weekend, if you go for a walk with your kids, say, hey, we finna go for a walk, come on, we're going as a family, or come outside and throw the ball, that make me like nothing. I promise you, it means the world. The reason I know that is told.
It lasts, it sticks.
That's right. That's right.
When you take up that valuable time with the kids, and it can't always be, you know, engulfed with gifts and
Disney World. We're going to Disney World and this.
It's just time. Just time. Just time. It means so much to the children. I remember my dad telling me that when my oldest child started walking, I asked him, I said, Pop, what would you have done differently, you know, if you had to do all over again? And I remember him saying, instead of trying to do so much to do things for you all, I would have gave you more of me, more of my time. And from that point on, man, it's just like, nah, I want to be I want to be present. Not only do I want to be present, I want to be a vital part of their life. I want to be here. I want to answer questions. I want to help. I want to advise. I want to guide, you know. And if I don't have the answer, let me be a resource to help you get the answer. I can show you how to get the answer.
Right. And you know, what's a good sign that you're doing what you're supposed to do? And I kind of realized this a little bit later in life. There were always my daughter's friends were always at the house, Mr. Watts, and they were saying they would say the most ridiculous, not ridiculous things, like things that didn't seem like anything. So my daughter had a friend. She came over. This is when she was older. She was in high school or maybe the first year of college. And she came by and she was like, hey, Mr. Watts, whatever, something's wrong with my vehicle. And I was like, when's the last time you got an oil change? She said, an oil change. And she was like, I've never got my, I was like, okay, give me your keys. I'm getting ready to go take your car to get, and I use it as an example because her friends remember those that minuscule things, and I don't think Brittany and I don't think my daughters remember, any of my daughters remember those things. Now they do. They come back and say, remember that time that you would? I was like, well, back then I didn't think twice about that. That wasn't anything. But their friends thought that was like, oh my gosh, you guys ride bikes to the, and I was like, well, that's a big deal. But those type things don't cost a dime, and it all goes into being present, and then that pours over into school. Because if it's one thing that I want, it's like if I say that I'm going to do this, if I say you're going to be on punishment, I promise you're going to be on punishment the whole time. If I say that I'm going to take you somewhere, I'm going to take you. If I say I'm going to do something, it's about being consistent. And don't think that, oh, Michael think that he's did. I've done a lot of things that I haven't supposed to do. I've failed. But I will say this, I've tried. I have tried, and there are times when I know that I failed, but I have tried, and I think it's in the sincerely trying. I think it's in sincerely trying. We have to know where our time goes, and times have changed. You got TikTok, you got Facebook, you got Instagram, you got this, you would be amazed at how many parents sit and just spend hours doing it when you're gaining nothing from it. You could take a fourth of that and say, let's go outside and whatever. It doesn't have to be anything deep. Just go outside, or let's go here. Let's put it down.
Just have the discipline to shut it down. Go on a walk with your kids. Listen to them. Your children will tell you a whole lot if you just listen.
Yeah.
One thing I've realized is let me stop talking to just listen. Let me, and it's like, whoa. I pour into the kids, and when you think they're not listening, oh my goodness.
One of my sons, good and bad.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it's just his mind operates a lot like mine. So there was a lot of, it's like, all right, I'm trying to talk to this boy, but then I turn around and I overhear him having conversations with friends, and he's giving them the advice that I give him. It's like, so you are listening.
Yeah.
You are listening, and it just takes you sitting back and looking at them operate with a wide angle lens to see, a lot of times they're listening. They just don't want you to have the gratification to know that whatever you tried.
Absolutely.
No. They don't want you to know. I listened to you and I'm successful because of it, but I don't want to give you the gratification.
Absolutely.
I don't want you to know it's you, the reason that I succeeded at whatever it is they're working on or whatever it is they're trying to accomplish.
And don't get me wrong. I think my parents did a bang up job. They had their faults. They had their things, but ultimately I'm going to go out and I make my decisions. And I've made some bad decisions. I've made some bad decisions, and your kids will make bad decisions, and everybody's kids will make bad decisions. But the point is, you did what you thought was best. And remember, doing what you think is best is different than just doing whatever. It's what's a good analogy? If you say I went out with my kid, oh, but I took him to the club. You know, I took him to the club, whatever.
Yeah.
And he said, that's not doing your best. Just because, well, we spent time. You know, y'all didn't spend time. He was doing whatever. He was seeing things he was supposed to do. I took him to
y'all just in the
boys.
Y'all just in the same vicinity.
Y'all just in the same. There's a big difference between being in the same vicinity and spending time. It really is. It really
and
is.
It doesn't always mean talking. Yep. Like just go for a ride. Yep. Go for a ride. And I mean, a lot of times when they reach a certain age, there ain't much they want to say to you anyway. I mean, there's really not much they want to say to you.
Yeah.
I mean, once your child gets about 13, 14, I mean, there's not a whole lot of conversations.
Yes.
Other than not from their end.
Right.
Now we want to talk. We want to, how you doing? How's school? Yeah. Man. My son and my youngest son, well, and my oldest one, they'll tell you, I really don't feel like talking, Pop. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I couldn't do that with my dad.
Yeah.
If he wanted to talk, I was gonna have to have something to say. But I get it because I remember how it felt.
Yeah.
I remember how it felt being forced to talk and you really didn't feel like talking. So it's like, okay, talk to me when you're ready. I'm here.
So the difference is your kids are being respectful. They're like, oh, I don't want to talk right now.
Yeah.
And I think that level of respect. So you and I, if my parents wanted to talk, you talking, and then it's like, hey, you. And I have brothers and sisters who said that, they wish dad would have been more open and been more to. My dad was a man. He went to work. He came home. I got the better end of the deal when it came to my brothers and sisters. And the reason was I was second to the youngest. And he was tired by the time he got to me. I mean, my dad was tired, dude. So I didn't get the
young vibrant.
Yes, yeah. The strong Earl. I didn't get I got the Earl got grandkids. He softened up a little bit. So that's who I got. So I didn't have to go through the rough and tumble. So me and my dad, as I got a little older, we got along. We were able to talk. I do miss him and wish I could have had more talks with him. But it is so different from then to when we had kids to now. An example, my daughter was a teacher before she became, a principal. And she told one of her students, if you don't stop, I'm going to write you up. He told her, my mom's an attorney and we're going to sue you and there's nothing you can do to me. And that mentality of, I don't have to respect you. Because truth be told, if I don't have to respect you, there's a big chance I'm not respecting my parents. And they're like, whatever, just go to your room. Are you kidding me? Because if you're talking to me like that, then I know, because you just use context clues. You can talk to someone for 5 minutes and kind of give a history of who they are, how things are at their home. Right. If you just listen and see how people interact. Because when I'm at work, I talk to I don't care if you clean the bathrooms. I don't care if you're the CEO. I don't care if you guys outside. I talk to everyone. And people know it. And you know why? Because it's just common courtesy to speak to someone, not because of who they are, or what they do, or what they can do for you. We're in a terrible place in this country, guys.
Oh yeah. That's a whole nother discussion.
It is a whole nother discussion. But
and we're gonna have to tackle that one. We're going to tackle that one.
We are.
That's a whole nother discussion because, like you said, courtesy, civility, that's not being for what? For what?
Right. I mean, because if you have people who are
leader of the free world don't have it. So
if that, then what makes you think that I have to? Right?
Yeah.
What makes you think that I have to? And then again, another story. But it is this chain reaction, and people should be scared. They should be. Now, I believe in God, love God. God's going to protect me. He's going to, but everything that's going on with our kids, with our jobs, with the churches, with everything, we should not be surprised. We shouldn't be surprised because we know that this is the way that the world is going to go. But if you are, again, I don't want to get on the preaching deal, but if you are protected and safe, you're going to go through stuff. Don't get me wrong, but we know what the end is. But we shouldn't be surprised because there's it is. I know we've talked about my mental, whatever, but it is so much going on, and it is just going down and down and down and down and down. And we have to be ready for that stuff. And so when the kids go to school and they can just talk to their teachers any old kind of way, and the rights that kids have now, the right, you can't say that to me. You can't do this to me. And okay. So I think there's an error because I go to my daughter's school sometime. I think they just know that fool crazy, so I'm not going to act crazy in front of him. Now, I'm being polite, but there is something that I think that they know, well, we're going to be good because maybe it's because I'm a man. Maybe because I'm a man, maybe I'm bigger than them, and maybe I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to do that. We're here to do this, and maybe they feel it. I think kids can feel stuff, and they know Casey might be a little bit crazy, so I'm going to pull that down for a little bit. And so there should be, people don't like when I say this. People don't like, they hate it. There should be a healthy fear. Your kids should have a healthy fear of you. They can love you. Go ahead.
I think that's the first step to respect. Fear, the respect factor is like, there's a punishment if you do wrong.
Right.
So in order for you to respect me, you have to at least fear that I'm going to punish you the way that I said I was going to punish you.
Right. Right.
Respect don't just come because I show up in the room.
Nope.
No, the respect don't happen like that. Respect happens from consistency.
Yeah.
Respect happens from adults respecting each other in front of kids. Respect happens from being a man of your word.
That's right.
And punishing when you say you're going to punish, rewarding when you say you're going to reward.
That's right.
And the consistency you have throughout your life. That's when children learn to respect you. I mean, but they have to fear it at some point. So,
yep.
Yeah, I agree, man. I just think I'm looking at the fathers that just kind of give up and leave the and I'm not saying give up on the family or the kids. What I'm saying is give up on that part of child rearing. Yeah. It's almost like, all right, you handle that. I'm gonna coach them in football. You handle their education. Yes. I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that. And it's like, no, man, it's got to be all sprinkled in. Everybody has to have a part of it. That's a part of encouraging them. That's a part of, just their whole outlook on life. Like, there's a team behind me.
Yes.
There's a team behind me. Hopefully the team is in the same house. But if it isn't, like, dad is going to show up if he's called. Dad is going to call and check. Dad is interested. Mom is interested. Everybody is on one accord. Like, mom is filling dad in when I did something wrong in school.
That's right.
It's not just, you don't want to have both parents bearing down at the same time.
Yep.
But at the same time, both parents have got to talk about whatever the situation is.
That's right.
Like I can't just, right? I ain't involved in that. No, I need to be involved in that. Let me talk to him. And what I found out, man, is these kids, they're gonna have their own way of talking. They have their own the acronyms over social media,
the lingo and the whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they have their own slang. They have their own, basically their own language. But parents stop talking a lot of times because we don't understand the language, but they understand us.
Yes.
They understand what we're saying. That's why I told my kid, I'm never going to stop talking to you because I know you understand what I'm saying. I may not get all of what you're saying. I may not understand all of them letters that you type in. You gave your friend some kind of heads up that daddy just walked in the room. I don't know what that means. He HRO. He's right over my shoulder. Like, I don't know what that means, but you hear what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
right.
When I'm talking, let's move to distractions. When we're eating dinner, my wife was big on that. Ain't no phones at the dinner table. Ain't no phones at the dinner table. Everybody ain't got to sit here for the durations of everybody's meal, but while we're eating, no phones at the dinner table.
Yep.
So those things that I think, and as scripture again, train up a child in the way they should go. When they're old, they won't depart from it. We don't get to decide what old is. That could be 20, that could be 30, that could be 50. Mm-hmm. We want them to get it. We pray for them to get it. We guide them to get it. But all the children aren't gonna. They're just not gonna take the same road you took. You know.
Yeah.
So, but for as far as school goes, we got to do a better job as parents.
Absolutely.
We have to do a better job in our communities of keeping kids in school. Like I got friends that are very instrumental in the school board and teaching, and I see the passion in them, and I'm sure that's not equal across the board. I see these guys; they really want the best for these kids. Matter of fact, it's another one that we'll talk about. I want to have him on the show, but they really pour into these kids, and they have to pour into them because families aren't there to pour into them.
Yep.
Families aren't there to pour into them. So I want to encourage fathers, man. If you're not in the picture, get back in the picture for the health, for the mental health and stability of your children. Get back into the picture. Don't let mom run you off with all of the yap. Don't be out of the loop because a situation is tense. I know it's easier said than done, and things can go from here to here in a matter of seconds. But with all of when my kids were coming up, they didn't have the phones like they have now. Kids have now where you can just your child got a phone. I can communicate with you as long as you're telling them the right thing. I don't think mom or dad is going to be upset with you conversing and communicating with the children. Like I said, the hope and the will of God is that we're all in the same house and we're all coming up under the same rules. And but that's not, you can't help that all the time. So
that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. We
got to help these schools. We really got to help these schools.
And I have two more before we go. I have two little small points that might seem irrelevant. The first one is, if your kid enjoys something that you don't, I don't care. If your kid likes playing the trombone, but you play football, go to the recital. If your kid like dancing, and you prefer track, go to what they like, because they aren't you. They aren't you, but you have to support them in something that they're doing. As long as they're not out there doing something ridiculous, go support them. And number 2 point, if your kid has been making F's and they make effort and they get a C-, they put in the work to get a C-. So that's a victory. I thought you were going another route.
I thought you was going to say if they making F's, and you letting them do everything. If they making F's, it ain't no extracurricular.
No. What I'm saying is we have to celebrate things.
The small wins.
That's right, small wins. Because if you see them working and they working hard and they were doing bad, and they say, I got a C minus. You didn't get an F. You didn't get an F, and you're doing better. So support them and say, well, you know what? You did better. I mean, let's see if we can do better. I see you working hard. I see you trying, because I'll help anybody that tries. If you're gonna try, then and we're together. You've changed something and you're trying to do better. Celebrate those small things, because a C minus is way better than an F. That means they did something. Right. So and I mean, a lot of it's your responsibility, but you have to celebrate those things, because when they see that you're celebrating it, I want to do better. I like when mom and dad and grandma and grandpa was like, we're celebrating this. It's like, okay, well, we're going to get you a popsicle or whatever because you didn't get an F this time. That's something. That's something. And so we have to be able to celebrate those things, celebrate them. Not every time they're gonna put them on video. Hey, y'all, look at it. I hate that stuff. I'm not talking about put it on Facebook that, oh, my Johnny. No. I'm talking about a sincere celebration to show I love and I appreciate what you're doing, because I see that you're trying hard. Put it out there for that fake stuff. Oh, I'm not even gonna get on that. But I'm talking about sincere love and sincere support for your children. And that can go a long way. But as Mr. Jones said, you got to start at home.
Absolutely.
You got to start at home. You
Absolutely. That's a challenge. That's a challenge for every man. Let's do our part. If you're not in their lives, get back in their lives. Take small steps. And like Michael just said, like, celebrate the small wins, the small victories, because children become encouraged by their parents being proud of them.
That's right. Absolutely.
They become encouraged, by the parents being proud of them. So if you overlook a C when they've been getting Fs, that's deflating.
Yes.
That's deflating. I'm glad none of our kids really ever went that way, because I don't know if I'd have seen. I don't know how I would have handled that, but it happens. It happens because with an F, you either stupid or you ain't trying at all.
Yes. Yep.
I'm sorry.
That's exactly right. That's the truth, that people don't want to hear that.
I'm sorry.
You these days, if you get an F, you are trying. No, I can't say that.
You trying.
You're right. You're either stupid or you're not trying at all. Because
F, if it's still the same points as when we were in school, let me tell you something, boy. I can't say everything like I be wanting to say it, because hey, to the parents who kids getting Fs, stay encouraged. Do something different. All right, because they either not trying or they may just be stupid. Now let's just be real. And that doesn't mean stupid, meaning the inability to learn. That just means they may learn differently on some, hey, you remember the Cosby Show? Theo didn't get it until they found out he had an issue. That's real. Hey, man, I done said enough. Let's talk with Casey and Mike. He's Michael. I'm Casey. Y'all email us your questions. We're going to be real. We love you guys. Peace out.
All right. Love y'all. Y'all be good.